So as you can see, I'm not in the same area that I normally am, aka my office. I'm back home for a little break, and I don't have my fancy little office or mic or anything. And so you're gonna get a little ambiance of nature during this episode. That's right, this is episode 2 of Medieval Tomfoolery, the podcast. Today, I think I'm going to just talk and see where it goes because I didn't have a set topic. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about how it feels to grow up and how it feels to be getting older, because I just went to my old high school. I'm a senior in college now, and I went to my high school and I saw a few teachers from when I was in band during high school, from when I was in English 9. I didn't take honors classes. I didn't realize my worth during high school. But it's so weird because I see them getting older, I see myself getting older, and it's kind of just a surreal thing where I'm realizing that after the spring, I'm not going to be in school anymore, and I'm just going to be having to get a big boy job. I'm going to have to get like an office job. This is the ambiance of suburbia. This is what you get. I'm trying to be real with you. And the trash men are picking up the trash. I see people getting older. I see myself getting older. I realize I'm going to have a real job soon. I can't just keep working at a fast food restaurant. There's a lot to think about once you've reached your senior year of college. So I come from a family of people who have never really gone to college. I am a first-gen college student. I'm also the first person in my family to move out of small town Iowa. And it's very surreal to me to know that I've gotten this far and done this many things in my life, and I haven't died yet. Which is also insane because I definitely expected to have multiple panic attacks and fear about moving like 5 to 6 hours away. I feel as though life moves on and you're just able to figure out what you're doing and kind of hope for the best. I was gonna have a full-on like philosophical thing, but I feel as though it's just nice to talk about how it feels to get older, because it's scary. It's scary to get older, to be in high school, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into the world, and you're trying to figure out what you're doing, but you're not alone. I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I wanted to pursue psychology, and now, my senior year, I'm realizing that psychology may not be the very best thing for me. But I feel as though as well that it's looked down upon to not go to college immediately after high school. You're supposed to go to high school, go to college, find a job, work that job until retirement or until you die. And I feel like that's just not right for everyone. There's not going to be a certain path that works for every single person. And that's okay. That's completely fine. I'm really struggling trying to break that mindset. I'm really struggling having to do that. Because in my mind, I have always seen myself as going to high school, going to college, getting a job. But I'm realizing now that that might not be as simple as it seems. If you are struggling and you're realizing that college may not be for you, that's okay. You do not need to go to college to be successful in life, and it's so ingrained in our brains that we're required to go to college in order to be successful. And you're supposed to go to college immediately after you graduate high school, and if you don't, you're looked down upon, like you're not successful in life. And that's just not true. I hate the generalization that you have to go to college to be successful. It works for me. I wanted to go to college. I chose to go to college because I wanted to be a first-gen college student. I'm living off of spite just so that I go to college. But it's not a requirement, and I feel like more people need to be aware of that, because it's difficult for people to compare themselves to others 24/7. I'm always comparing myself to the success of others, and you don't do that. You're not supposed to compare yourself to others. You're always going to be on your own path, doing your own thing, and it's difficult to see the world around you growing, and you don't feel like you're going as fast and as smoothly as they are. But that's kind of life. It throws things at you that you're unprepared for, and you kind of just have to accept that your life isn't the same as Susie down the street, or as successful as Jim, who's a neurologist at age 18. There's always going to be things that you want in your life, but you're not going to get. And that's kind of just how life is. You kind of just get to accept that and roll with it. Hope for the best. And a lot of times you don't get the best. But it's not that big a deal. There's always going to be more chances for you to do things. There's no reason for you to give up just because one thing didn't work in your life. And it's always a good reminder to know that there are other people who are struggling, and there are other people who don't know exactly what they're going to do with their life. I thought for sure I was gonna become a therapist, and I was going to help people that way because I am addicted to trying to help people. And you may be saying, well, you should have been a doctor, you should have been a nurse. That's not the kind of helping. I have mad respect for nurses and doctors, but I could never do that. And in high school, I knew that I wanted to be a therapist. I was so certain I had a path. I was going to go to college. I was going to get a master's and a doctorate. I was going to have people call me doctor. But then, as I started exploring the options that I have, especially since psychology is such a broad field, I realized that maybe I don't want to be a therapist. And of course, I had to wait to realize this until I was a junior in college, which, by the way, if you're unaware, college is pretty dang expensive, and I'm already about $60,000 in debt from this wonderful thing that I was trying to do, and decided that I might not want to do it. So, if you're struggling and you don't know exactly what you want to do, you are not alone. It's okay to change your mind. We're growing, we're experiencing life, and it's so crazy to me that it's expected that we're supposed to know exactly what we want to do straight out of high school when we have lived with our parents our entire lives. There's so much out there to do. This episode is going to be a little bit shorter just because I'm out of town, I'm on vacation, but I did want to discuss, and I wanted to make a video for you guys. And yeah, so this is just a reminder that you don't have to worry about being behind in life. You don't have to compare yourself to others or to friends or people close to you. You're on your own path, and that's okay. So, without further ado, I suppose that's the end of episode 2 of the podcast. If you want to see more, let me know. My first episode did well. Again, this podcast is just going to be me talking about whatever I want. And today I wanted to talk about how things are always going at their own pace. You should never worry about how other people are doing. You have your own path. So I hope if you guys needed this, I hope you were able to listen to this, and I hope you feel a little bit better. Love you guys. I'll see you in my next podcast. Bye.